All right, welcome one and all to another traditional draft war of the Spark, best of 3. We got enough gems to do this, and I'm feeling some more over Dominaria, so let's get cracking, shall we? Come on, broken card. Okay, no broken cards here, but some very good ones, so I can't complain too much, can I? I might. There's a lot of red in this pack that's interesting. Cyclops Electromancer, Dreadhorde Twins, Spellgorger Weird, and a Heartfire Solid. Following up the red, I think the strongest color is black. Single combat I have not been impressed with. Very conditional, and I don't like white. With that said, I think the pickup is going to be Kaya, Bane of the Dead. It's 2-for-1 removal. It keeps you somewhat open since you can play this in any white or any black deck. Though you have to be pretty base one of those colors, seeing though it's triple swamp or triple plains if you're not playing black-white. But I think there's a lot of upside to this, and it is the pick for us.
Some dead things that needed to stay dead.
Whoa, okay. So Plain White Celebration is a strong card, but very expensive. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate you joining. Aven Eternal is a very nice 3-drop. Gives you 2 bodies, 2 power, 2 toughness flyer with an extra mass token for 3. It's a good rate. Spark Reaper is nice. You get some value out of cards that might be dying anyway, or little tokens you want to sack to get deeper into your deck. Mayhem Devil's nice as well for sack decks. But I think Wanderer Strike is going to be the pickup here. It's another great removal. It has Proliferate. It's splashable if we get that far. It's just a good card. It can proliferate onto Kaya, which is always sweet. I have been less impressed with Gideon's Triumph. I don't really enjoy the fact that, you know, if you have an open board and they're attacking, they're going to be attacking with everything, and then they just might sack their weakest creature. If you're attacking and they're chump blocking, this isn't really good. It's very conditional. I'm not a huge fan. Pouncing Lynx is a nice low to the ground aggressive card. Kiora doesn't really go with what we have going on, even though I like the card. I like it better in like a blue, green, red, or green, blue deck. There's a second Dreadhorde Twins, but I don't think that's what we want to do. I actually have been impressed with Herald of the Dreadhorde. It keeps us kind of in our Kaya colors. I don't think I'm giving up too much for it. It's either this or Gideon's Triumph. We could pick up Gideon's Triumph, but honestly, we have 2 removal already. Okay, this is a strong pack. The Spark is actually a fairly nice removal spell. It's good for some of the big fatties in the set. Convert Mana Cost 4 or more hits a decent amount of things, but not everything you want to hit. And if you're hitting a Planeswalker, they usually get an activation out of it before you play this anyway, so that's not ideal. I think we just gotta go with the busted common. That's Law Rune Enforcer here. It makes it difficult for your opponent to either block well or to get in attack with their fatties. Divine Arrow I wouldn't mind picking up here, and there's really nothing too much of interest in not our colors. The white's looking pretty open, which is sweet. We don't really have anything right now with that synergizes well with Huatli. But honestly, white-black is, I think, where Huatli stands to be the best. You get you can pick up the what's it called? The 1/5 with lifelink. You can pick up stuff like Bulwark Giant. You can pick up Taio's Light Shield. A lot of things with high defense, low power that Huatli helps with. And it helps you gain life, which is good if you happen to open like a Bolas' Citadel. But I think it's a little too... Actually, it's either that or Tidebearer Giant. We already have some higher cost cards. I think I'm going to take a speculative Huatli here. I've seen it do some busted things. And actually, Taio is kind of nice with Huatli. It creates 3/3 defenders instead of just 0/3 defenders, which can actually block things. I've been more impressed with Taio than I would think, considering you have Hexproof. It kind of cancels a lot of things like Pull the Invasion. I think that's the card that snipes something out of your hand. Yeah, so I think we're gonna go with this. We could have fun with our base here.
But don't take it easy.
Okay, Cruel Celebrant. I actually don't mind taking in this type of deck. If you go wide, it can actually be quite the problem for our opponents. We have a lot of life gain going on, and Tile's Light Shield can like maybe drain them one if you have your defenders out and you get the chump block. With that said, I like Rising Populace in this type of deck. Here, I'll take the first Tidebearer Giant. I don't think we're going to play any of this, nor are we going to pivot into those. I think I'll take my first Charm Stray. There might be another one coming soon, from what I recall. I'll take a Lazotep Behemoth, but we might actually play the Bulwark Giant. Okay. So this pack is interesting. We're not going to take the Dreadhorde Arcanist. Our set's really good. We see a lot of decent blue in here, but I think we're pretty committed to our black-white plan at this point, and there's pretty solid cards for our deck. The fact that we have Tile creating things we can maybe sack the Dreadmalkin is nice. We also have Wanderer Strike to proliferate onto it. We have a couple of Planeswalkers to sack to it once they lose all their tokens. But I think our first Lazotep Reaver is going to be the thing we want to do. It's going to be good for Rising Populace. It's going to be good for Cruel Celebrant. That's about all it's good for now. But it's just a solid 2-drop that affects the board early on. Keeps you alive. I wouldn't mind wheeling Dreadmalkin, Enforcer Griffin, any of these cards really, but I'm going to take the Lazotep Reaver. Not the most exciting. Ooh, okay. Well, this is a card that we will be splashing. Time Wipe is just super busted. If you know it's in your deck, you can play around it really well. And we have the things to kind of stall the board and keep us alive. And then they drop their creatures, and then they start beating us down thinking they're going to win. Then we just Time Wipe them, and boom. The tides have turned. We have to find fixing for it, and we're giving up a second Watley and an Aid the Fallen, which is unfortunate, but Time Wipe is one of the best cards in the set by far. Guild Globe would be nice here, but I don't think we can give up on a Wanderer Strike. There's nothing in black, but this is just more solid removal. Our curve is looking pretty high, so we have to be careful about that. I do like picking up Ugin's Conjurant here. Soul the Invasion, Aid the Fallen are both really good. Welcome to the stream, everyone. We're doing kind of like a black-white life gain, Time Wipe kind of deck here. But I like Ugin's Conjurant. It can play anywhere in the curve that you need it to, and it can just be pretty big. Here, I think it's either a Spark Reaper or Taio's Light Shield. Taio's pumps something else, and it's really good when you have Huatli out. It helps with some of our Proliferate. Spark Reaper lets us sack some things and draw some cards and gain some more life. And it's good with Cruel Celebrant in that way. I'm kind of torn on this. I think I like the first Spark Reaper over the first Taio. This also gets a little bump with Huatli, but obviously not as high. And here I think I'll pick up the first Divine Arrow. I definitely don't mind having another piece of removal that's a little cheaper. And here I think we can pick up our Guild Globe over a second Bulwark Giant. This will help us splash for our Time Wipe. Here, Enforcer Griffin is solid. We might have to cut one of our expensive cards. We're getting a little fat there. And I definitely like Dreadmalkin over the first Makeshift Battalion. Here, I'll take an Aid the Fallen since we already have 2 Planeswalkers and we're not missing out on much else. I'll take the Pouncing Lynx here. Not really what this deck's trying to do, so we might not play it. But it is a 2-drop if we need it. This is best of 3. Okay, there's some interesting pickups for us here. Charity Extractor is probably going to wheel, so we don't need to pick it up early, but it's nice as Huatli, and it's nice at gumming down the ground and helping us survive till we can Time Wipe. Mana Geode isn't bad for splashing, but I think just having a second Ugin's Conjurant is going to be the way to go here. We could also splash for Tamio's Epiphany, but we got Guild Globe and Spark Reaper to help with card draw. Also Tidebearer Giant, so I'm not too high on that. Let's just go for the second Conjurant. Red looks pretty busted in this pack, but we're far away from playing that. Ooh, okay. This is a tough pack for us. So Grateful Apparition I can see being really good. We already have Kaya, 2 Ugin's Conjurants, and a Mass from this. Um, uh, 2 more planeswalkers, a rising populace that might have a +1/+1 counter, and a Dreadmalkin. So that's really nice. But we also have an Angrath, which is really good to time wipe while this is out because it doesn't kill your planeswalker. So you can time wipe and then immediately create a creature if you have this out already, which is super nice. Martyr for the cause is good. Trusted Pegasus is kind of a more aggressive card, and I think we're not trying to be super beat down. We're going to just be kind of, biding our time wiping, and run them over. Or if we just happen to have some decent creatures out, we can just use our decent amount of removal to clear the way. I think Angrath is going to be the pickup over Grateful Apparition, as much as it pains me, because Grateful Apparition is pretty good in this deck. Here, I'm going to pick up the first Spark Harvest. It's another good removal. We have a couple of things to sack to it that we don't mind. Maybe some of the Tios, blockers, the Lazotep, Reaver, Amass. The Amass we might get from Herald, and we can always just hardcast it. We're giving up Battlefield Promotion and a second Tidebearer, and a second Lazotep, but I like the first Spark Harvest here. Okay, here I think we pick up Davriel. This is going to be an interesting deck, that's for sure. Our plan is to just kind of outvalue them. I wouldn't mind it's a 2/3 flyer for 2. It's a little hard to cast, especially considering we're splashing. Martyr for the Cause isn't bad. War Screecher gets pumped with Watley, but Davriel is just a really strong card if you get it out early. Here we can pick up a second Guild Globe to help slash with Time Wipe, or we can pick up our first War Screecher. This is a good blocker early on, and it's actually a solid threat if we get Watley out. The Time Wipe is so good, we want to make sure we can find it and play it. So let's go Guild Globe here. Okay, I'm kind of bummed we picked it up considering there's another Guild Globe. I don't think we need 3. I think I'm just going to pick up the first Martyr of the Cause and maybe lose this Pouncing Lynx. Here, I'll pick up the next Divine Arrow. I do like Rising Populace, but ooh, a second Cruel Celebrant is actually pretty nice for us. This is an interesting deck. We have another Charity Extractor, or this is a Charity Extractor that wield. We'll see if that makes the cut. I don't mind another Martyr for the Cause. Battlefield Promotion is nice. All these things are going to keep us alive. I don't think we need 3 Martyr for the Causes here. Now we got our War Screecher. So we only have 1 Watley, so we don't want to go all in on just big butt things that we're gonna assume gonna get pumped. So that makes something like Charity Extractor a little worse, and Bulwark Giant. We're gonna be gaining a lot of life anyway, and this can't really get in there that well. This just helps protect you. So I think we can lose those cards. I do like Enforcer Glyph. I like all of these cards. So now we can figure out where to make our cuts. The fact that we have 5 Planeswalkers is very nice for Aid the Fallen. So I'm going to definitely keep that in. I like having a sack outlet in Dreadmalkin. We might not need this creature. And we might not need the Watley. The Watley's not looking super great anymore. It gains us life. And it pumps a few things a little bit. But honestly, it's not doing too much in our deck at this point. So if we lose that, we no longer have as much motivation to play War Screecher. I think I'd rather have Martyr of the Cause up, considering we have 4 Planeswalkers to proliferate onto, plus a couple of incidental things to proliferate. Let's lose the War Screecher. I do like Cruel Celebrant, double Cruel Celebrant. It can actually get out of hand and ping for about 5 to 6 damage over time. And considering we have a lot of removal, this does nothing to do with removal, but considering we have a couple of sack outlets and we have 2 of these, if you have 2 of these out and you just start sacking things, it could be a beating. We still have a lot to cut though. I think we cut the first one of the Divine Arrows. We have solid removal in Kyre, Wanderer Strike, Time Wipe. I want to run 2 Guild Globes, but we definitely don't need 2 islands for that then. I think we go 8 and 8 and 1 island plus 2 Guild Globes. Gives us 3 sources for this Time Wipe, plus some digging. So I'm cool with that. And it also helps cast Angrath, which is our only off double color. It can also help cast Time Wipe. It can make a plains and a island if we're swamp heavy, so that's nice. So considering the fact that we don't have... I kind of like all of these cards. This is the problem. Maybe we lose Battlefield Promotion. It helps give the counters on Martyr for the Cause. Maybe we lose the first one Martyr for the Cause. We have a lot of 2-drops. This is a hard thing to cut. What to do, what to do. We have a ton of removal, but we don't have early removal. Maybe we lose this Battlefield Promotion. We're already gaining some life. I think we're still gaining life. Maybe we aren't. What's gaining us life? I guess this and Spark Creeper, and that's it. But we don't really have a lot of benefit to gaining life, except just trying to stay alive. So we can remove that Battlefield Promotion. Martyr for the Cause gets a little worse, but we already took one out for that. I don't really want to go below 4 2-drops here. We could lose the Rising Populace, but I kind of like it, given the fact that we have Cruel Celebrant and we might have some things to sack. This works with Planeswalkers dying too, as is this. So I like having Spark Reaper and Dreadmalkin in sack outlets. Especially considering we haven't Aid the Fallen. This is tough. Maybe we lose Herald of the Dreadhorde. Seems bad though. Yeah, I think we do lose it though. And then we don't want to touch any of this. I don't think I want to go down to only two white sources or 2 blue sources for this. So I want to keep both the Go Globes. Maybe since we have 2 Go Globes, it doesn't ramp us though, and we are expensive, so we definitely want to play at least 17 lands. This last cut's pretty hard. Maybe we don't need this Divine Arrow. We could always sack something in Spark Harvest for an early removal. We got Tayo Shield Mage to keep us alive, but then I'm just worried about flyers. We don't have a ton. Maybe we lose an Ugin's Conjurant? That seems crazy though. Ay. What's our creature count, spell count here? 12 and 12, okay. And some of our non-creatures make creatures. This is a tough one. I'm going to cut maybe we don't need this Enforcer Griffin, but I kind of like having the 1 flyer. Maybe we don't need this Tidebearer Giant. We're already pretty expensive. We got some sources of card advantage. Let's lose that and run this back. Lower the curve a little bit too, which is nice. All right, so this is gonna be an interesting deck. I mean, if we're just playing the board earlier than they are, and with our removal, we can just kind of death by a million cuts them. But if we have Time Wipe in hand, then we just kind of make sure they play out their creatures, get a nice like 3-for-1. Considering we have Go Globe to draw us a card and an early 2-drop, I'm okay keeping this. I think this lets us basically play any card in our deck at this point already. We just do not want to see more lands drawn. But we're going to see about 3 more cards before we run out of plays. Okay, that's not so scary against our board. That's nice. Let's see what we draw. Okay, well now we don't want to... We don't want to flood out here. Oh, I know why my camera looks weird. I'll be right back. There we go. It should be less noisy now. Cool. Oh no, don't steal all of my excess lands. I guess we can just lose 2 planes. All the land, I know, that's okay. We've already seen 5, 6, 7, 8 lands, so there's only 9 left in our deck. So we have about 67% chance of not drawing land. Ujin's Concert is nice here. It actually isn't affected by the Death Touch, so I'm going to go ahead and just play this as a 4-drop. It's the best thing on the board right now. We're not really playing with our time wipe in mind. I guess I can attack with both of these. What's going to happen? The Ujin Conduit can block a Death Touch because its text says if damage would be dealt to its Conduit while it has counters on it, prevent that damage and remove any +1/+1 counters. So Death Touch doesn't actually deal damage to it, it just removes the counter, therefore it survives. So they found a Liliana's Triumph, which is really bad against what we have going on here. Okay, so they could sack and make this larger, and we're just going to obviously lose the... It might be better to lose the Lazotep Reaver. We had Aid the Fallen. We have some Proliferate. Having a 1/2 though can block this and not die. Yeah, let's just lose the counter here. Okay. If we attack with this, what can they do? They could block here and here. Yeah, I think we can attack with the... They could decrease its power a little bit, but they would have to sacrifice some things. Maybe they don't know how the Death Touch clause works. Cool. It looks like they didn't. Alright, and now we have a threat in the air they have to deal with. Okay, we can double block that if we need to. If they attack with this, that'd be silly. Spark Harvest is nice. I think we just Spark Harvest this Lazotep Behemoth, since we can't deal with it too well, and then we can attack with our Conjuring again. So let's just do that. I will play out a Swamp. And then attack with these two. They could block with Augur of Balus and the Vizier of Scorpion and bring this down to a 1/1, and we only get to eat 1, but honestly, I think I'm okay with that. Less things they have to sack the Dreadmalkin, I think the better. But then again, we could kill the Augur of Balus, and then our Lazotep Reaver could get in, so I would have thought about that a little harder if they did, in fact, double block. Okay, so it seems like they have a lot of discard, and they've hit 3 lands with 2 spells, so honestly, that's not a good rate for them. And we got a 4-turn clock in the air, plus some pressure on the ground with Ujin's Conduit. I'm just going to hold the land and attack with these again. It's nice attacking with the Ujin's Conduit when they're not, when they don't have mana, so they can't just chump block and then sack it to Dreadmalkin to grow it. But here they're losing this race. It kind of worries me that they're okay taking 6. It makes me think they have removal for Enforcer Griffin instead of trying to bleed, slow the bleeding until they do find removal. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Enforcer Griffin go down this turn. In which case we do have to find some action, or else we might just kind of peter out. But like I said, we've already seen an extra 3. Okay, so this slows us down, but not terribly.
Few things can withstand my careful scrutiny.
Again, they only have 2 mana up, so I don't think they're holding any lands here, so that means they have 2 spells. Otherwise, they would drop a land, so they have the Dreadmalkin activation up, I think. Divine Arrow is nice. We can kill something, so let's do this. And here, they probably will double block, and I think we'll remove the Augur of Balus, because then we can attack with our Lazotep Reaper past the Vizier of Scorpion and Dreadmalkin. This thing's still going to be a 2/2 though if they block it, which is nice. Okay. So they can only slow us down for 1 more turn now. We'll hold the planes in hand just in case they have more discard. It looks like they found their splash color, which could be a raw outburst. It could be, unfortunately, it could be Nicol Bolas this turn if they have it. It's always a possibility when you see all three colors with a base black, which it looks like they are.
Looking to elevate yourself?
I think if they had Nicol Bolas, they would drop it and then just kill our Enforcer Griffin instead of doing this. So that makes me feel slightly better that it's not coming, but you never know. We can Divine Arrow something, but I think I'm going to hold it up. Ooh, that's nice. So we can drop this. They have a counter. They might counter it. Okay, and now we get in with our Ugin's Conjurant and see how they block. We can actually attack with this too. I mean, if they want to just... Yeah, there's really no harm in attacking with that. If they just throw the Bolus in front of it, that's fine. I'm not worried about the swing back. And they might want to use the Bolus to block this for some reason. If they block anything else with it, we can obviously just eat that thing, which is cool. So it looks like they're going to sack something to Dreadmalkin, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to let them do that and then Divine Arrow them. Now this could be playing into Crushed Descent, which could have been a problem. Could have been a reason to not play Rising Populace first. I guess we weren't really expecting any of our things to die, so that could be, we can get punished if they end up having a Crushed Descent. But really it's not going to make a big difference on the game, because unless they can kill Enforcer Griffin, it's not going to be a big deal. And even if they counter Divine Arrow, it's still going to be a trade. Oh, well, they can't pump this and Crush Descent. Never mind. That whole line doesn't make any sense. This is a nice 2-for-1. If they have some way to save their Dreadmalkin, it's really not that bad. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. This is match 1 of a traditional best-of-3 draft in War of the Spark. We have a pretty sick, like... Okay, well, that's fine. They're still gonna... Yeah, that was a really bad play there. Sorry, Oppo. So, I don't know what they could really drop here that's gonna help win this game at this point. Even if they kill our Enforcer Griffin. That's not gonna do it. There we go. Okay, well, they showed us a Saheeli. So they have a lot of discard, which is interesting. We do have Aid the Fallen, which can help against that. We just have to keep in mind about sandbagging some lands or cards that are low impact on the board instead of playing them out if we have something in our hand that we don't want to lose. Divine Arrow looked pretty good there, actually. But we already have one. I think I'm good with how this deck is looking. Didn't see a lot of flying threats. It didn't seem to be super beatdowny. Oh. They don't know what we're splashing for, which is nice. That's a good thing about Guild Globe, is clearly you're splashing for something, but they don't even know what color you're splashing for. So it's very possible if they saw we were splashing for blue, they would have an idea that we're running Time Wipe. I don't think we ever got an island out. Okay, they got the early Malkin, but I'm not scared of that. Davriel's nice, but it's better if you can kind of stuff up the board before playing it out. It could still maybe do get two cards if they don't have anything else on board. But I think we play out the Spark Creeper first. This is kind of a slow hand. This is not the best. This is where Davriel doesn't really shine. Okay, so I think here we just play out Spark Reaper. We can take another 4, get out Rising Populace, and then we could trade. This thing could get pumped, and then they can't really attack with Dreadmalkin. We have a couple. We have Aid the Fallen. We have Spark. We have Removal, so I'm not too worried about what's going on here. Maybe Augur or Bolus will miss. Nope. They got Crushed Descent. Well, that card gets significantly worse when we know it's in their hand. We can play around it. I want to take 4 here. I probably don't care if I take 4. If I trade here, what's the benefit? We only take 1, they lose a creature, and we can drop Rising Populace next turn. And that can't really block anything. Yeah, I'll take 4. We have some good life gain in our deck. If they hit us with a discard now, it's going to hurt a little bit, but we can't not add to this board since we're behind. We can get back one of our planeswalkers, but we're going to lose a removal spell. Okay, well that card's not good. I wonder why they have that in their deck. It's actually nice fodder for Dreadmalkin, but if they start investing too much in Dreadmalkin, we got 2 ways to remove it. And now we might drop Davriel if they don't have removal here, which they could have Callous Dismissal, which could bounce something. They attack with the Naga Eternal. Oh, interesting. We could just double block this, I guess. Blue doesn't have any pump spells. So I'm very curious about what this could be. I think we just double block the Augur Bolus and get an attacker off the board. And then we can drop Davriel, get some cards out of their hand. They're doing this, huh? I think we just eat the Dreadmalkin here. And we take 5. Okay, here this is easy then. We just take 3, we double block. I don't think they could have anything that kills us here. They could drop a Swamp post-combat and then Vraska's Finisher. One of these things dead. Which would be a little tricky of them. But I think they would have dropped a Swamp and then attacked with Dreadmalkin possibly. If they had the sack mana up. Though I guess they don't have good attacks for that either. It shouldn't matter which way they order this if they have nothing. But seeing as though they're thinking about which way to order this, they might indicate they have something here. So let's see what happens. Okay, so they're just trying to slow us down and go wide here, but that's totally okay. I think we just play out Spark Reaper here while they're untapped. Davriel might soak up some damage and snipe some cards. It looks like they have all 4 spells in hand because they haven't played a land. We can actually Davriel. We're up on resources here, so we could Davriel. No, I think we just play Spark Reaper here. We pass. We're a couple lands away from removal. We just have to survive a couple turns. Or we're 1 land away from... Well, I guess we're a couple lines away from Kaya, but we're 1 land away from solid removal as it is. Oh wait, no, we have the land. What am I talking about? So yeah, that's gonna get removed. They don't really have great attack here. They get swing with their Naga Eternal, but we'll just trade the Spark Reaper. Now Rising Populace gets better. Okay. That's actually kind of nice. I think we just Wanderer Strike away the Thunder Drake here. We could Davriel and drop Cruel Celebrant. And then I'm assuming they'll kill Davriel with Thunder Drake, but we can always Spark Reaper it back. And then this thing grows even more. I think I kind of like that. And then we gain some life. Now we get the Sniper card out of their hand. We get life gain because of the Cruel Celebrant. Oh, they do have Nicol Bolas. Aha! Could also attack with this, but I don't think that's what we do. So our Davriel is going to die, but that's totally fine. We know they have Crush Descent up. So depending on how this goes down, if they just leave mana up, we have to play around that. But I knew it. I knew it. You tricky mother. Okay. Gives us a little bit more cushion on life, which is nice. And now we have a pretty substantial threat in our attack. Okay, so we know they have Crush Descent up, so we can't really... I think we just aid the Fallen here. And then we can throw out Guild Globe. They might not want to even Crush Descent this, but if they do, I'm okay with that. I mean, they are going to get a 3/3 here, but that we can still block that. And then it gets this out of their hand. That's fine. We could sack and kill something, but I think we can wait on that. I don't really want to lose a blocker. They have removal. It's going to be bad for us. We can drop Davriel, get their last card out of their hand. This is interesting, because it feels like they have... Again, they can't really have too many pump spells, so I think I'm just going to do this and see what happens. They could sack them both to this and make this a 5/5. Then we have just straight removal for it, and then we go down to 5, but then we could kill it. That's totally fine. Okay, so now we just make sure we kill the Dreadmalkin here. And as long as they can't do 3 damage to our face, we'll be okay. I don't think there's a better plan than this. We could Spark Harvest away our Proof Celebrant. We kill this. This thing gets bigger. We gain 1 life, and then we can Davriel the last. Yeah, actually, I kind of like that. That might be a little better. I think it's a little safer. So let's get in with our attackers here. Wait, what's the right order to do this? I guess it doesn't really matter. This thing's gonna grow. Yeah, so let's get in with our attackers. Let's Spark Harvest away the Dreadmalkin. Let's drop Davriel. This might even soak up 2 damage too, but this is going to do another 2 damage to them and get their last card out of their hand, which is a good card if they find their mountain. I think Davriel's going to go, unless they could somehow do 4 damage to our face. And now we can Kaya this. We'll see what they do. Okay, so that's a little scary, but honestly, I think I just want to Kaya and kind of draw damage away from my face. We have tons of removal in hand, and we actually have Proliferate. So if they play another creature and do 2 to this next turn, we can Wanderer Strike away one of the creatures and then sack Kaya to kill the last one. They have some way to deal 4 to us. Again, we're dead, but I don't think these colors have that ability. And they're not going to attack this unless they have something to either play to block this or to remove this. All right. That was nice. Rising Populace can be good and or bad, but I think it fits really well in this type of kind of sack deck with a lot of planeswalkers that you could sack and a lot of smaller creatures that are going to just die incidentally. 1 down. Okay, we're gonna keep this. We have our splash color, we have a 1-drop. Ugrin's Conjuring can come down when we deem it fit. And our opponent mold to 6, which is, gives us a slight advantage here, right from the get-go. Yeah, finding a plains would be sweet, but it's not super crucial. That's a nice draw. Play out our island. We'll attack here. This actually gives us fodder to sack for Dreadmalkin if we want to next turn. Which we might. Yeah, I think we will. So here, we attack with everything, and wherever they block, we just sack the Dreadmalkin. Again, 1 point of damage that way. And if they don't play anything, there's an argument for dropping Ugin's Conduit, but we could do that next turn. And even if we find a plains, we could do a 3/3 plus a Law Rune Enforcer. Then we could tap down their stuff, and then they might be in trouble. Now Dreadmalkin's going to be pretty hard to block. If they have removal for it, it's really not that big of a deal. Especially since we have 8 the Fallen. So now we can attack with Dreadmalkin. And then play out a 4-drop here. Yeah, that's not a great blocker. Considering we have 8 the Fallen, I think we just attack with both. If they want to double block and trade, I think it's going to be pretty okay with us for us. I think I'll just spend this turn buying it back because we're already on the beatdown plan. They could double block here, but then we just sack Lazotep Reaper, so that's a problem for them. I don't think they could go down to 5. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I'm going to let this trade happen, just 8 the Fallen it back. It's possible we want to just play it as a 3/3 this turn. It might actually be the right thing to do. We could just eat Lazotep Reaper and buy this back. And then if they find removal for this, that's what they spend next turn doing. And then the following turn, we're just dropping a 6/6. So that might be good as well. I think we're going to do that. It's a little all-in-y if they have like a string of removal back to back, but I'm not too worried about it. They're under pressure right now. And if that's their only play, we actually just kill them this turn. So we drop a Conjure for like 1. Well, I guess we can just do it for 3 here. We sack this, and then Dreadmalkin gets in. There's nothing for 1 red that they could do. Alright, so they got kind of screwed on color. It looked like they had a semi-aggressive deck, but I think I'm pretty well suited for that. You might want to drop... Looks like they had a bunch of small things that we saw, but they also just didn't get a lot of land up. But we might want to trade a Wanderer Strike for a Divine Arrow on the draw. We might need some early defenses. Ooh, I just got an email saying I qualify for the next Mythic Championship qualifier weekend. During a weekend this August, Mythic Rare players who were in the top 1,000, which was me, or limited or constructed, in War of the Spark Season 1, 2, or 3 will compete to earn a spot in Mythic Championship Tournament. Exact dates and more information yet to be announced. My final ranking was 750. Not the best ranking ever, but hey, I'll take it. And this is why we want to get back to Mythic. The things like that. I got mad. They look like they want to be on the play. Red and black has a lot of removal, but I think we're pretty well suited against that. Yeah, this is fine. We need to find a plains, but we have a nice 2-drop. We'll have a couple draw steps to find the plains. 8 the Fallen can get us back. Something we need. Ooh, the Mullen to 5. I feel bad for our opponent. Sorry, Pro Infinity. You're clearly anti-good hand draw. That was a bad joke. I apologize. Real bad. Okay, we have a 3/3 on 3 if we need it now, which is nice. Goblin Assailant, we can double block that. Not worth divine arrowing. Even if they have a trick here, I'm really not upset. They have 4 cards in hand. We're up on resources. We have Aid the Fallen to get some back. They might have to go all in on this and throw like a card on it. Okay, here I think we just play out our Cruel Celebrant. So they have all action in hand. So we want to take advantage of this and get in. So maybe if they play nothing, we just Divine Arrow away their Goblin Assailant and start hitting them. If they attack here, I'll double block with the Lazarus Reaver and the Zombie Army. Yeah, it looks like they're just sitting on land. Let's just get in here. They could have like a Heartfire. So they might get some value out of their Goblin Assailant if we Divine Arrow, but again, I think I'm okay with this. I want to press the advantage while we can. If they don't find black, they can't deal. I wonder why they blocked that over one of these. Why would that be? Maybe if they pumped it, they have Pyro Helix or something. Looks like they might have Heartfire. Yeah, that's okay. I'm not going to use Aid the Fallen for it. I'd rather Aid the Fallen back our Conjurant, considering that they're behind on lands and we get to drop a 5/5 this turn. Yeah, and honestly at this point, unless they have drop a Swamp and have Omnixil's Cruelty, which could happen. Because it exiles it, so we can't even Aid the Fallen it back. Okay, that's not a concern. Let's see what we draw with Go Globe first. Angrath is going to be super nice. Honestly, if they attack with this thing, we might just Divine Arrow it. Because then Angrath can give us lethal by making this a 3/3, a 5/5, and a 1/2. And they'll all have Menace. It's unlikely they're attacking because they need the blockers, but if they didn't block last turn, why would they block this turn kind of thing? No, I've done that before where it's pre-combat and you just want to attack with it. Well, if they're attacking, we don't even have to kill it. We'll just take the 2. Okay, well, now we win this turn thanks to Angrath. All right. Well, that was kind of a lame match. Our opponent got screwed both games, it looked like. I mean, I'll take the win. We're playing for gems here. This is a no casual play. Okay, so we got our 800 gems back at least. So we got the gems for ranked draft after this at the bare minimum, but hopefully we go maybe we can go 5-0. This deck is performing pretty well. Yeah, we'll keep this. Not the best hand ever, but you could do work. Hood Ace. Hood Ace or Hoodis? I wonder. I do not know. Okay, it looks like we might have a real game of Magic here. Both of us kept 7 cards. Ooh, time wipe. Okay, so that changes things a bit. We're far away from casting it currently. But actually, we're only 1 Guild Globe away from casting it. And now we're only 1 blue source away from casting it. I will play out our Spark Reaper. Oh, there's Jaya's Greeting. Chandra's Triumph. Okay, that's fine. We got Aid the Fallen. If they play out something aggressive, we have Divine Arrow. If we feel like we can't get there. But yeah, we have about 10% every turn for the next few turns to draw one of our blue sources. So I just kind of want them to start playing out creatures. Oh, they discarded a creature. They must be looking for something. Oh, there's our blue source. So now we're just going to kind of slow roll them. Maybe I shouldn't have played that. It kind of indicates that we could potentially have time wipe. I played it without thinking. That was a mistake. So if we Divine Arrow this, it's going to incentivize them to play more things out since they don't have a board presence. And since we get to bounce something with our time wipe, I'm just going to play out Rising Populace now. So that incentivizes them to add more to the board. I'm going to pretend like, let's see, they don't have discard. So I'm going to hold. Considering we have Aid the Fallen, I don't want to just hold too many lands, and they're not playing black, it doesn't look like, so they won't have discard cards here. Okay, so hopefully they just might look like we're flooding out. Hopefully they just fill the board with creatures. That's nice. Red-blue has a lot of non-creature spells, unfortunately, so Time Wipe might not get it, and we have to be careful about playing into a counter. So I hope they just tap out here for like a Thunder Drake or something, though if they had a Thunder Drake, they would have played it first and then played the Burning Prophet, so they get their counter on there. They could make this unblockable. If they do that, I might still Time Wipe here. It's a 2-for-1. We get to not add to the board. But I really want to play Time Wipe into a tapped out opponent. They can only counter it with Crushed Descent, so I guess if we have 7 mana, it doesn't matter. They can't really counter it. So that was I guess I'm not too worried about counters. We'll probably take a beating for a couple turns. Ooh, okay. Now we definitely play it. They're going to probably hit us for 6. Unless they're scared. Well, that's silly. We don't get to replay this, which is unfortunate, but it's a 3-for-1. And now we have removal. I'm not going to use Aid the Fallen just to get back a Spark Reaper. Seems unnecessary. Okay, now we just Spark Harvest that. If we draw land, we can Rising Populace too. Okay, well, we can Law Rune Enforcer. I guess maybe there's an argument to let that stay around since we can Law Rune Enforcer it. But it just felt like a very good use of mana.
What an interesting creature. Let's see how you work.
Okay, well, this is still a 1-1 that we can just play out Rising Populace and then attack the Saheeli. And then if they... Yeah, I think I like this. We're not going to drop the Kaya until they drop a creature we care about. Here, if they eat this Rising Populace gets to grow, which is fine with me. We have a better creature now to aid the Fallen back. Let's just pass. They have removal for a Rising Populace. We might have to aid the Fallen before having a Planeswalker in there, but we're really in no rush here. We're not trying to win fast, we're just trying to win. And we're in a pretty good position right now. They just drop a big fatty. We could drop Kaya, remove it, and then do some work on Saheeli here. We're not close to killing them, so I don't really want to ignore Saheeli. I'd rather get this dead and just win in the long run. If they were down to about like 7 health or something, I might ignore Saheeli and just go for face if Rising Populace has a good attack. Okay, that's nice for them. But even if they just get another token, they can't block Rising Populace profitably. Let's see what happens here. I'm not going to use a Kaya activation on the token. It looks like they have something. Al's Outburst is super nice. They get to draw a card. They get to kill our Rising Populace. And now I think we aid the Fallen. Back maybe a Spark Reaper. I don't see a lot of... We don't have a lot of things to be dying to grow this anyway. Law Rune Enforcer is good. But we could drop this and drop a land. And then so if they have some removal for this, we at least get a activation out of this and draw another card deeper. The Healy might be a pain in the ass for us. That's going to be a problem too. It might be worth Kayaing that. It opens up an attack with our Spark Reaper to Saheeli. Gem Walking's nice too. I don't want them getting all their lands. So I'm gonna play Kaya.
I'll be back. I'm not afraid of phantoms. They're afraid of me.
We're not gonna attack. If we attack with this and then play our Dreadmalkin, we have to basically chump block this if we don't want Kaya to lose another activation. They're kind of going off here. Okay, well that's rough. They could copy this, I guess, and then use it this turn if they wanted to. Okay, Cruel Celebrant is nice. Let's see. They can't really kill our Dreadmalkin. If they threw everything in front of it, we could sack both of these things. Let's see what happens here. I don't mind sacking Cruel Celebrant. We're not trying to gain a lot of life. I'd rather have Spark Reaper up, ability up. I definitely want to kill this Erratic Visionary. That's fine. So we will sack our Cruel Celebrant. Kill their 2 tokens, and I think we just get rid of this Erratic Visionary.
Being incorporeal is a great way to...
Because honestly, we have a lot of removal to draw into that can proliferate. If they want to suicide one of these things to kill Kaya, that's fine too. It's just that these Erratic Visionaries are going to give them, since we're kind of in like a top deck off, it's going to give them so much value because every land they draw is going to be binned away, while every land we draw is just going to be rotting in our hand. And I feel like that's a way we can lose. They're going to attack with both here. No? That's super surprising to me. They should get Kaya off the board, especially since we could sack it, you know? Let's do that. Let's see what happens. We should probably sack it this turn to one of these things anyway. I might do the Dreadmalkin, so they're double blocking that. That's fine. Then we don't really need to sack anything.
Give me an idea.
I think we just pass, see what happens. Okay, it's fine. Another land's no good. I think I'm gonna send both of these things this way. We could sack Kaya, like I said. Okay, so they're not gonna block here, which is fine. Since this thing's dead anyway, I'm gonna sack it to Spark Reaper and draw a card. And it's a good chance we could play it this turn. Okay, it's a land, that's fine. And now we have something that's hard to block in Dreadmalkin. Oh, I think that was a premature. Odd. Okay. So Saheeli was kind of annoying. They have a lot of cheap 1/1s. They had Chandra's Greeting. I think on the draw, I don't think we're dying anytime fast, so I kind of like the Tidebearer Giant. Maybe we lose. Tayo might be good if they have a bunch of small 1/1s, but it's really not that great. So let's just do that. We haven't even drawn it this whole time anyway. So clearly we're not going to draw it this game. That's what that means. All right. We'll be even our gems if we win this one, which is nice. Then we're up packs and nothing can really go wrong from there. Super okay with that. This deck's performing well. I don't know if we've been against the best decks though. It's hard to say. If this was good against, or if this went up against like a really well built blue-green proliferate, or if it went up against like let's see what some other good archetypes. Like it's just a really nice value black blue deck. Things like this. I don't know if it would perform as well. I wonder if it performed good against a white green beatdown. It has a lot of life gain, but doesn't have a lot of power on the board, really. So has a decent amount of removal, and I guess white green goes tall, so that would be good for it. I guess we'll see. We have to get past this this opponent first, though. Blue-red spells stuff. I'll keep it. I have a 2-drop into a couple strong cards. Ooh, that's a good draw. It'd be really nice to draw another 2 or 3 drop so we can protect our Angrath. Ooh, perfect. We could curve Spark Reaper to Angrath to Enforcer Griffin. That'd be real nice. They might have removal for this, but that's fine. Okay, so an early Saheeli. Angrath will actually make it nice to attack into that when we drop it. Okay, they're gonna give up a Saheeli. A Saheeli loyalty counter just to hit me for 2. I'll take that trade. The Amass 2 can actually block the Burning Prophet if they don't have a non-creature spell to cast on the following turn. So if we drop this and these both have menace and they don't have a second blocker, we can just swing with both and bring this down to 1. I think getting this Saheeli off the board earlier is going to be good against this deck. Okay, so that's nice for them because it builds out their board by 2 more tokens. That buys them a nice tempo play. So I think now we have to just drop Spark Reaper and then follow up with Enforcer Griffin before we play out our Angrath. It's really not the end of the world. They're going to get in. It looks like they might be on the beatdown plan. Okay. They're going off here. Aid the Fallen is nice for us. If I Spark Reaper, this is a pretty solid defender. Angrath would be somewhat fragile. We can't attack into them. Enforcer Griffin's going to be good if they don't have removal for it. They might hard fire this thing down this turn, which looks like what they're trying to do. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're going off here. Early Saheeli is rough when they have a handful of non-creature spells. But it's definitely not the end yet. We're going to take some damage here for possibly. They could copy, yeah, they can't really copy the Burning Prophet at this point and get extra damage in. Wanderer Strike is not looking very good against their go wide strategy here. Enforcer Griffin's going to be good if they don't have removal for that. We're going to take this 4. Okay, that's interesting. They're just trying to get in damage here at the cost of... Huh. They might have Heartfire to go to the face. That's something to consider. Spark Reaper is actually nice. I think we do that. Or Spark Harvest, sorry. I think I've seen enough to Healy. I mean, they definitely got their value out of it. But if they keep on going wide, we're going to have trouble blocking. And if we drop the Enforcer Griffin and they have removal for it, they could copy this, make this a Burning Prophet, use their non-creature to remove Enforcer Griffin, and then they have 3 things that are attacking into me. So it's not like that much worse anyway. Okay, so this is 5, 6, 7 damage. Unlikely we can double spell next turn. And then they're gonna have 4 to attack with us, so I think we're in trouble here. Yeah, I don't think we can win this. Even if we remove this, they still got 5 damage. If we play Enforcer Griffin, they still got 5 damage. We can bring back only Cruel Celebrant, which doesn't do the trick. Ingraph. I don't want to show them. Okay, we'll concede here. Wanderer Strike looks pretty bad. It looks like they're going wide. I think we're going to remove a Wanderer Strike. Time Wipe looks really good. And put in maybe a Battlefield Promotion or... Tile might actually be good. On second thought. Could also Divine Arrow. We did see a flyer, but I think just having a Tile in there is going to be decent. I think it blocks the ground stuff well. It stops them from hard firing us to the face too, which is slight upside. I find it funny that Arena emailed me to tell me I was number 75 and I qualified for the Mythic Championship. You think they would just send a message to like my login, right? Like that would be better, but maybe it's just easier to do the email and not worry about that kind of stuff. Okay, Hoodis. We'll play first. This is a nice hand. Might be a little slow, but not terrible. Okay, nice to see opponent mulligan. Though I kind of want to win a game where they don't mulligan, you know? Makes it feel a little more earned. I think I'm gonna Gill Globe this turn. Just get us a little deeper in our deck. We can drop Law of Reinforcement and leave up Divine Arrow next turn. Just totally fine. Having the 1/2 out right now isn't really doing too much. Time Wipe is nice, so we're gonna slow roll this a bit. We're basically 2 lands away from playing it. We have our fixing. And it looks like they like to kind of get their creatures out and go wide, so I hope they do that. We might drop the Conjurant just to put some pressure on them. But that's TBD. We'll see what happens here. We will block if they attack with the Erratic Visionary. We know we're going to Time Wipe eventually, rather than just drop something. Okay. Let's see. Do we want to play out another creature? I think we could just pass here. It looks like we're stuck on land. I mean, we are stuck on land, but it looks like we might not have anything to play. And the only reason why it was pausing for us is to sack the Gill Globe. So they might smell. Okay, well. Oh, that was kind of. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Either they can attack with. Well, they can't attack with both. That was stupid. We just gave up 1 damage for no reason. Okay, I think I'm gonna play the Conjurant just to have some threat on the board. Because we need to incentivize them to play out some creatures here. If they just keep on drawing a ton of cards, we're going to be in trouble. Looks like they could have good removal for the Conjurant, which is fine. Yes, play another creature. Play another creature. Looks like a Heartfire or Chandra's Time. Okay, that's fine. They get it for 2. It's not the end of the world. I think having a Cruel Celebrant out is going to be good too, because when we do Time Wipe, we're going to get the triggers, and we have a lot of strong things to play in hand. We just want to stay alive. We're going to leave the Law Rune Enforcer back, just in case we want to tap down a Burning Prophet that grows a couple of power. Time Wipe isn't the greatest against the spells deck. They're going to, on average, have less creature spells. But with that said, if you could snipe a lot of their creature spells, they're going to run out. And this is fine. If they keep on using removal on creatures that weren't going to survive anyway. They're getting good value here, but they're not really putting a lot of pressure onto us. This thing's going to help us gain some life. Again, we might just run out the Spark Reaper here. Put away a Callous Dismissal? That's a little scary. Play that out. I am going to play the Spark Reaper out. We have a lot of stuff to do after Time Wipe. So, you know, they can maybe get around this by playing out bigger creatures or by using the removal on our smaller creatures. In which case they're, you know, using the cards in hand. Yeah, like that's totally fine. This is an interesting game now. I think we want to be patient here, but there's a point where we want to take advantage of Time Wipe. Ooh, okay. So if we draw a land next turn, I think we just chump block this with our Spark Reaper. Take the 3. We draw a land. We can Time Wipe. Nice. I think we have to here. Because we can't deal with the 6/6. We're still not super up on cards, but we have really strong stuff in our hand. We have basically ways to remove 3 things. If we draw a land, Tide Bearer Giant is fine here. I think playing out Lazotep Reaper and then Cruel Celebrant is actually not the worst. We can take 4 from the Invading Manticore for a turn. We could double block the zombie army. If they grow this, we could always Kaya it if we find some more land. Or Divine Arrow, depending. Unless we draw a 3-drop, we can't Divine Arrow and play something else next turn. Okay, so we might... I think we just chump 1 here. We're going to gain the life, go down. I want this Lazotep Reaver around just in case we didn't find land. Now we can basically Kaya away the 5/5, chump with the Lazotep Reaper.
I like a good fight.
And if they have removal for one of these,
I'm not afraid of phantoms.
I don't want to attack, so we have one thing back to chump block. It's unlikely to have removal for both, especially consider they threw a Callous Dismissal in there. Can't go for it, that's fine. We'll stack the Lazotep Reaver. If we draw land, we can force a Griffin, leave up Divine Arrow. I think we want to get rid of this for sure. Drop this. They could have no escape. Nope. Okay. Now we're looking pretty good, I think. We got the better board presence. We have removal in hand. We have another big creature that's going to give us some card advantage. And we still have Kaya around if we find some of our Wanderer Strikes for proliferating. So if they use removal or Enforcer, okay, so that's a little annoying, but it's actually not that bad. Okay, so let's Tidebearer Giant. Uh-oh. They have removal? Or no, okay, they can just always activate this. Or I meant to say counter. And honestly, they can make both these things not blockable and swing both at Kaya, I guess, but then we get to Divine Arrow, one of those things for sure. And now we can just basically win this race. If they swing at our face, we can Divine Arrow one of them. I'm definitely going to do the Chain Whip Cyclops if they attack with both. Okay. That's something. Wanderer Strike is pretty great here. I think I just Wanderer Strike away the Chain Whip Cyclops. No, we can kill that with Divine Arrow. Let's do this. We get to proliferate onto Arkaya. They're going to sack it to make it a 4/4. That's fine. Now I think we just go for the race here. If they double block, we get Divine Arrow 1. And if not, then we're winning this race by a long shot with Divine Arrow in hand, Cruel Celebrant out to chump block and gain us life. Yeah, so now we're looking pretty good. What's that sound? Why is it making that crackling sound? If they get the thing where it's deal 2 damage, deal something and attack, we still do okay. Okay, so that buys them some time. Or they can threaten a lot of damage with the on-crop invader. But again, not too worried. Okay, it means they're going in for attack here. They could do 10 damage to us, but they would have to sack this and something else. Yeah, I think I just hit the Cyclops here. Making things unblockable is scary. They're going to sack it here for sure. They might even sack this and get in for 6. But if we find removal for Aven and Eternal, they're just dead. They're going to have to keep something alive to block our Tidebearer. Ugin's Conjurant is going to be able to block a ton of stuff. It's going to be huge. We attack with our 4/5/3/4. No problem. Double chump. If I was them, I would probably just take one of them. And we get to play this for 9. I'm not sure what that crackling sound is. Now, if they have removal for this, they could steal this. If they have a card where they deal 2 damage, steal something, they could steal this, but then we could just chump block it, and they can only do up to 6 damage to us this turn. So nice. I'm glad that stupid crackling is done, and I'm glad we won. 3-0. Let's keep it going. This is good stuff for a Tuesday night. I gotta go watch the finale of Chernobyl after this. Such a depressing but good show. I highly recommend it if you're not you're looking for something to watch and you're not creeped out by the terrible effects of radiation, because they show it. Okay, this is kind of... We need to find a swamp here, but we're running a decent amount of swamp. We have Divine Arrow, take care of an early aggressive play. If we could get down... oh, actually, since we already have our island in hand, I don't mind playing out this guild globe and cracking it for a swamp, especially if they don't play a creature this turn, because then we can play out Davriel and get them. Okay, well that's unfortunate. Okay, I still think we crack this for Spark Reaper. I just want to get something on the board. We have Divine Arrow. If they don't add to the board this turn, we can always Davriel. Looks like they're gonna play removal. Do 2, that's fine. If we find the swamp at 5 mana and they don't add to the board, well, this is kind of bad for us now. If they have removal for our Enforcer Griffin, we're gonna be in trouble. I don't think it's worthwhile doing it on a 2-drop that we can block. They might drop something that we want to kill a little bit more, like that. It's very possible they have removal for our Enforcer Griffin, but we're kind of in a position where we can't not play it. No. Okay, so Angrass Rampage, things we have to sack. Alright, this looks like a beatdown. We're still okay here. We're gonna play this out. We can't play Kaya, but I really don't want to play that into an open board. I think we're gonna Divine Arrow. The Spark Reaper, they get to sack it if they want, but then that goes their turn, and then we can drop Kaya and kill one of these Duskmantle operatives, and then Kaya won't instantly die. So we got a handful of Planeswalkers. I don't think I've ever had before. So if we Davriel, we get 1 card, but then this thing dies instantly. That seems bad. This thing gives us a little more health. I mean, it looks very unlikely we're coming back from this. And we're showing them as much as our cards as they're showing us theirs. So we're not... I don't know if that's a net positive for us in terms of getting information before we die. But it's good to know that they have 2 Angrass Rampage. That's kind of a stinger, because now they get kill Kaya and do 2 to the face. Oh, they're just going for 8. That makes sense. Okay, okay.
Finally, a chance to prove my skills.
So they can't burn us in the face anymore. This thing's gonna get a creature. And we can chump block this Duskmantle operative. Oh, and this exiles, so we don't even have to jump block. Okay, that was a nice draw. All right, Tayo, I see you. That's fine. Vraska's finisher, maybe. Okay, so we gotta draw a creature or something here. Aid the Fallen could work. Though I don't think we can. Yeah, okay, we can play it. We can play our Griffin. I kind of wish I could kill one of these things, but we have to. We have to buy back the Griffin this turn. If they have removal for something, we're dead. We're barely hanging on here. Wanderer Strike would be pretty nice. We get another activation out of Tayo. Get one closer to Kaya having another activation. If they had removal, I think they would have snapped it off and then killed us. If they have Heartfire, it makes it a little tricky for them because they can't burn us in the face and they would have to sack one of their attackers anyway. But if I was them, I might... Okay, so this is going wide, which is a little rough for us, possibly. A swamp gets us Angrath, which is nice. Ooh, that's actually really nice because we could do this. And then we can pop this. We get to gain a life back. Get another card. That seems like a good card for them. I guess they're stuck on land here. We might be coming back from this. We have to hold on a little bit. It sucks that they have a Death Toucher here. And we have to basically give up our 1-2 for it, but looks like they might have removal for Celebrant, but if they do, we're back up to 4. Oof. Good thing we minus the Davriel last turn. And here we're dead. Now they get to attack with everything. Each opponent. It sucks that it's not target opponent. We block here. We go down to 4. Yeah. Or we go down to 0. Oh, I thought we were coming back. Okay, so it looks like very low to the ground. Wanderer Strike's not looking so good here. I think we want another Divine Arrow. And maybe they make us sack things. So going wide if we can is good. Maybe a Herald of the Dreadhorde is better than something that we would put a lot of investment into. I don't see much other improvements here. Tayo is good for the sacking thing. Gives us some things to sack. Lazotep Reaver is really good. Maybe we lose the Dreadmalkin. Nah. Yeah, I think so. Okay, well. Martyr for the cause into Angraths is not bad. Looks like they're going to have early plays to stop this. Kaya's nice. Kaya actually doesn't look too great either. Looks like they go wide more than tall. They might have us sack this. Nope. Okay. We have strong 4, 5, 6 drop. We're not going to add to the board this turn. A little unfortunate that we can't, because now if they drop a creature, Angrath's at risk of getting attacked. Okay, it's nice that they didn't. Now we can drop this.
If you want it, fight for it.
Okay, they can have us sack a Planeswalker if they have Angraths, whatever. Oh man, that's a bummer.
I've weathered tougher storms than you.
Okay, so this can come down as a 5/5, so it's a good blocker for that. Better than Wandering Strike this. They have Angraths, whatever, to make us sack a creature. It's gonna hurt a little bit. Yeah. But we can't keep on playing around this stuff. At least we can Kaya this. So we have 2 more pieces of removal plus a Guild Globe in our hand, so that's kind of nice. Let's not tap our white and Guild Globe. See what we draw. Another swamp. Do that and pass. Maybe we're both flooding out here. I'll play a Tayo. I'll hold a swamp just in case they have discard. I might start sandbagging excess lands at this point. We do. Time wipe's looking pretty bad in this matchup currently, in this specific game, I mean. We have nice board presence. They don't want to play the creatures into Kaya, but they don't know we have Wanderer Strike in hand, so they might, like, if they have 2 creatures. Okay, that's fine. We still have our Aid the Fallen, which is going to be nice here. Here we can go wide.
Talk to the wall.
Okay, now we have some damage on board. Nothing impressive. Okay, now we want to strike that thing down. Yeah. It's not worth cracking our Guild Globe just to get Rising Populace out too. I kind of like I like us being hexproof, honestly, because they can't make us discard or total evasion or anything, and we don't need another 0-3 blocker right now. So also this might be good to one of our sack outlets. Now we can double spell Rising Populace. We attack with our 2/2 here. They're not really incentivized to block it, and then we drop our Herald of the Dread Horde. Now we have significant board presence. Time Wipe is a dead draw because we do not want to time wipe this. Ooh, Davriel's super nice too. I don't know why he keeps on wanting us to tap our planes. So we're gonna get the last card out in hand.
Let me pick your brain for a minute.
And we can basically start swinging them with everything. Their best block is here, but they're gonna be on a really short clock soon. And we don't mind jumping with our walls. Davriel's just going to be doing 2 to them indefinitely. They have to find something to kill this and protect themselves. So I think this is just over. We could have Davriel this card out of hand. But they would have just done it in response anyway. Can't do much about that, but that's fine. Yeah, now if they don't find something this turn, they're dead. I'll Divine Arrow that. Okay, so now they have to do a lot in this one turn to win. I'm gonna be mean and let Davriel finish them. Oh, oh, no fun. Okay, so that was nice. Battle for Promotion doesn't look too great. Honor Strike looked a little better. They had a couple of bigger things, I guess, but I think we have enough removal. Charity Extractor actually might be good. Look like it could block a lot of things, gain us some life. Let's put that in and let's take it out on the draw. Maybe we don't need this Rising Populace. Do that. All right. Oh. This looks like a great hand. We will definitely keep. We'll play out our lives with that Breaver. If we don't find a 4th land, we can Guild Globe on turn 3. We got our Time Wipe now. Now we have to consider how we play out our cards. I think they have a Soren's Thirst. They definitely just don't want to use it on either of these. Good to know that they have that in hand. This is really good for making their Angrath's Rampage pretty bad. That's going to be a 2/2, just fine. I think we just hang loose here for a minute. Another good thing about Tayo is we can basically have the Planeswalker out and not make things. Well, I'll probably make one to have a defender. Uh-oh. Well, there goes Time Wipe. Maybe not. I think so, right? Because actually, they're kind of damned if they do. They're getting low on cards. We have some strong plays here. Yeah, I think we just play this. Herald can attack into their things. Ugin's Conjuring can get pretty big. I definitely want to hold on to a couple of just weenie creatures. Because they have Angrath's Rampage and I want things to sack too. That's fine. We can still attack into all of this. Totally fine. We have a lot of white cards. So maybe since we no longer have time wipe to worry about, we sack this turn, and so we can double spell Law Rune Enforcer and Martyr for the cause. Or we could just get our Chariot Extractor, but then we don't have something that can get past this. Actually, I guess we have this. Yeah, I guess we can be a little patient. We have nice defenses for our Planeswalkers, so if we find them, that's going to be really nice. They can make us sacrifice just our Planeswalkers, though. That thing can be annoying eventually. Here, I think we just attack with our 3/3. If they want to double block with the 2/1 and a 1/1, I'm fine with that. And if we find a land, we could Spark Harvest this thing away. And this turn we could just drop Taio Shield Mage, I think, is what we'd want to do. If we had Taio out, they could have totally invasion us. But now we have good things to sack to Spark Harvest if we need it. I'm feeling pretty good here. Law Rune Enforcer will lock this thing down. I will block with the Charity Extractor because, I mean, I might have a Brasket Finisher, but that's fine. Yeah. Totally no problem. Okay, so having a 5th land here, we could run out our Conjurate, and it's a solid blocker.
I'll block them off.
I blocked them off! That removal for this. If then they both go for Taio, I don't care if they kill it. I'd rather keep my 0-3 defenders. Because then next turn we can Law Rune Enforcer. Ah, okay. I guess I'll just jump one. Okay, so now I think it's getting to the point where we want to play this. Spark Harvest this thing down. Sacking this. And then we could just pass here. Here we could double block profitably. They might have removal, but honestly, I don't care if they use it for this. We could drop our Mark for the cause to trade. Law Rune Enforcer locks it down. Oh yeah, we knew they had that. That's okay. Okay, so now we can double spell. Now they have incentives to attack Taio, because if not, we can trade this away. Okay, so I think this is a mistake, because we get to do this now. We get to proliferate onto Taio, and then Taio can make an 0-3 that can block this. Whereas if they both attack Taio, I could not have done that. So I think it's time just to do this. And then I think I'm gonna Kaya and then not use it. But my problem is they can make us sack a Planeswalker, I guess, with Angrath's Rampage, which is something we should have considered. But I was kind of scared of total invasion. I guess they already used that, and we know they have 2. Yeah, I kind of want to just get an activation off this, because if they do have Angrath's Rampage, we're going to just have wasted Kaya. And we have another piece of removal in hand, so I'm not super worried about getting the most value out of this at this point. We do have 8th of Fallen to draw, which is going to be real nice for us. And now I'm going to start sandbagging lands a little bit. Have something they can do. This is a slow clock, but we can kill them before we deck ourselves, which is nice. Ooh, 8th the Fallen is nice. Do we have Angrath in there? I think we do not. We only have Tile. I'm going to definitely wait on that then. Because Tile is like the least exciting. Planeswalker to get back. And they already used one total of the invasion. So if they're running two, they're running two, but I don't think we saw even one in the first 2 games. It's unlikely they have 2 in their deck, or it's less likely. Not impossible though, so something to consider. Again, actually I'm gonna not sandbag all the lands. If they drop a Davriel, I want to have one thing in hand to discard to it, but this is interesting. I think they were just waiting to draw Angrath's Rampage so they could kill Kaya before playing out their creatures, is my guess. But then that's fine. We could aid the Fallen and drop our Dread Horde. Herald of the Dread Horde. That's unfortunate. Can still block that though, which is fine. Nope, maybe not. They're doing 1 and 1 to each.
Usually I'm better at dodging.
Okay, so Angrath can protect this. So I'm actually gonna lead with Angrath here. Leave up Divine Arrow if they have removal for our Amass. At this point, I might want to buy back Angrath more than Kaya, because I'm less concerned about removal. I'm more concerned about not having threats to finish this thing off. And Angrath is really good at making threats. Okay, so now we're gonna Divine Arrow there. Okay, so this complicates things a little bit. I think we're just gonna now Divine Arrow their Goblin Assault team. Actually, we get to kill the Goblin Assault team with Kaya this way. I think that's fine. They could have Heartfire, stack this, and bring that Kaya. That's totally fine. We could buy back Kaya and deal with a Goblin Assault team then. Yeah, Aid the Fallen's gonna be pretty sick here.
Back to the devil's chains and the storm-wrecked sea I go.
So we have 6. So we're gonna get back Kaya and Ugin's Conjurate, and then we can drop Conjurate or Kaya, kill the Goblin Assault team, and then next turn drop a really big Conjurate that Spark Harvest can remove, but that's really about it. Let's see if they got anything else. I think I'm just gonna play out a huge Conjurant here. Honestly, they're not going to drop a creature that can block this. And I don't want them to dig to something that they can do something with. Or sack this in response to a Kaya. Oh wait, they don't have to tap. That was silly. That's totally fine. Oh man, another Conjurant. Okay, so let's just slap in here. Yeah, so this is going to be a 6/6. So we're going to have a 6/6 and a 9/9 to face down. They attack into Kaya. I'll let them do it. Okay. Well, that gives them some card advantage, but honestly...
It's just gonna be bad for you.
Oh no, that's actually good. Check the 6/6. We have Tidebearer Giant still, which is nice. We have some Wanderer Strikes. We'll do this. We will attack the Chandra. Again, chump block, no doubt. Okay, this is still a game. Angrath's Rampage doesn't punish us nearly as much anymore. Gabrielle doesn't do it. We're going to take some damage from it. We just don't want to see a nice blocker here. So we're going to take 4 damage from this. That's fine. Do that. So we're going to go down to 10 here, but Definitely worth it. I'm gonna hold the swamp just in case they want to use Davriel for it. It might be like creature removal.
I don't think you'll be needing
And
that.
now we can get in with the Cruel Celebrant if we want to kill Davriel, which I think we
All
do
I've left
here.
you is pain.
And we're not going to attack with the Cruel Celebrant. We're going to attack with this. They'll probably just take it, honestly. We might have to chump block with the Cruel Celebrant for this. I guess we can't. Maybe this is a problem. Maybe I should have pressured face. Because they can make us unblockable now. We have a couple Wanderer Strikes to draw into. I don't think we've... And I think we threw in a second Divine Arrow too. So we have 3 outs out of 11, which isn't bad. If we find Spark Reaper, that's also good. Oh man, we lost it. I'm gonna make them pay the full mana, and then maybe they'd be scared too. Man, that was a good one. Man, we had so many outs. Unfortunate. I wonder if we fucked up there. I guess maybe we should have went to face, but then they could have taken it both turns, I think. Considering we draw nothing. Ugh. Oh well. It happens. That was a really good match. Them sniping the time wipe probably was a big deal. Maybe if we played Tayo a turn earlier to protect us from it, but we never saw the toll of the invasion prior to that. This looks fine. We need to find some land here, but we got a turn 1, and we're on the draw. If we even just find 2 swamps, we're still okay. And we're not going to lose to a Moon Weasel playing a Boreal Grazer. Wait a second. They keep a 1-lander? They definitely don't have 3 lands, because they would definitely play a land. Yeah, it looks like they kept the 1-lander. Okay, so if we find land here and we start curving out, we're going to be good. Okay, so planes would have been better, obviously. Honestly, I think cracking this to get out our Rising Populace is going to be good. They can't attack through the Arboreal Grazer without Ingraft down, but with Ingraft down. Okay, that's fine.
The only prize I desire is your head.
I'm okay trading the Crawl Stinger. We're up on resources. We got some nice cards in hand. They have removal or a bounce for Zombie Army. Okay, that's really not that great of a card use for that. So we're gonna actually... kind of behooves us to wait till after attacks for this. Well, it depends. If we drop the Lazarus Reaver and then plus this thing's a 5/5, and then if they want to double block it, we kill both their blockers. So I actually think I kind of like that.
If you want it, fight for it.
Okay. Well, they must have Callous Dismissal or something for this. I'm not sure why they wouldn't take that trade. This thing's gonna keep on beating them down. Okay. Now we don't get to kill both, I guess, but that's totally fine. I think end of turn I'm gonna stack our Rising Populace to our Dreadmalkin. And we have 2 good attackers. Let's see. So if we attack with the 5/5, they can now. Yeah, I think we attack with both. As long as we kill the Crawl Stinger, we're gonna be pretty good to attack here. That's fine. Now we can Spark Reaper. All of our things still have Menace. We're blocking our Angraf still. We need to find, if we find a Plains, we got Wanderer Strike. Yeah, if we find a Plains, we win here. Nice. Okay. Wanderer Strike away. Bloomhulk. Proliferate onto everything. And then we swing. Nice. Okay, so they stumbled a bit with their land. But they look like a proliferate deck, so our Wanderer Strikes are going to look really good. All of our removal is going to look really good against Conjurant. I think I am okay with this. Maybe on the play, we remove Tile. It looks like most of the things can get past it anyway, and put in a Divine Arrow. Or on the draw, is what I meant to say. Okay, this is good. We can Law Rune Enforcer into a Guild Globe to try to find our black source. They mulliganed. If we get Davriel going against a mulligan opponent on the play, they are going to be in trouble. But they don't have a 2-drop. We might be looking good. It might even be worth jump blocking with Law Rune Enforcer. We need to find a swamp. Okay, well, we can always play Ugin's Conjured for 2 next turn if we don't have anything else to do. Kind of a waste, but it will trade with Crawl Stinger. Yeah, I think I'd rather dig a little deeper. Find a land, hopefully. Nope. Okay, well, now we're the ones getting land screwed. But we have place. We could crack this. Okay, now I really want to play Ugin Conjurant for more than just 2, which we get to do here, because then it doesn't die to the Crawl Stinger, which is nice. Now if we find a swamp, we can leave up Law Rune Enforcer to tap 1 down. If they make one of these bigger, we can eventually get the Kaya for it. They might have, yeah, band together. So we get to drop another Ugin's Conjurant, which is fine. Okay, actually now... Yeah, okay. I think we just play another Conjurant right now, because then if we find another source, we can maybe double spell Davriel and Lazotep Reaver and protect our Davriel, and then we can get most of the cards out of their hand. If they have another removal or a bounce, we're going to take some more damage, but I don't think we're in major trouble of dying. That's fine. Maybe they don't know how Death Touch works like the other ones. Maybe they have a pump spell. Okay, and now we can play out Davriel for sure.
If you surrender now, a mind is a terrific thing to waste.
And we're going to get in with our Law Rune Enforcer, lead back the Ugin's Conjurant. Now we're looking pretty good. I will Kaya that just to get another. Oh, that's even better. Let's get this out of their hand.
Let's tidy up in there.
Let's drop a Cruel Celebrant and then attack with our Conjurant. I don't mind double blocking the Crawl Stinger, and I'm going to Divine Arrow this thing. And now we might not even use Davriel if they go down to 1 or less cards. Yeah, this is looking pretty good for us. Okay, so now I think we just Kaya, get rid of the blocker.
you won.
Actually, I'm gonna get the last card out of their hand.
You're afraid of
Perish the thought.
Yo, I'm glad we did. And now we can just beat in. They draw a creature, it's no good. If they draw removal, we're spread out thin enough. Nice. Okay, that was a good one. Let's see if we can get our 5 wins. We're already plus 300 gems, which is pretty sweet. Okay, this is a nice 2-drop into 3-drop with removal in hand. Man, I feel like we've been pretty fortunate. I mean, I'd rather play just good games of Magic, but we've been pretty quote-unquote lucky with our opponents having to mulligan a decent amount this whole draft cycle. Rising Populace with Taio is nice because it gets us some jump blockers here. So if we can Taio next turn into Spark Harvest, if they draw down a, they play a big blocker. Get Taio pre-combat, so they can't target us with anything.
There is no greater honor than serving those in need. This is what I train.
Yeah, this is gonna be real nice with Spark Harvest in hand. We might even just sack the Taio because we can then buy it back with Aid the Fallen. Okay, what does this do?
My purpose is greater than myself.
That's it. That's all he did. Okay, well, I can take a turn off to just kill Karn, get him out of here.
I will endure.
And I will play a 5-drop.
To the wall.
Okay, I don't see how we really lose this one, considering we can buy back a Conjurant and Taio. We have a removal for anything we can't just eat. And here, I think it's worthwhile to drop this. Actually, just kind of like, no, they could total the invasion, so I think I'd rather just pay 3 and kill this without sacking Taio, because they might have total the evasion stuck in hand. Let's just get in there. Now with Law of Rune Enforcer, you're going to have to do a lot of work this turn. Okay. Well, that went pretty easily. So they are black-green. We saw a Iron Bully. I didn't see too much. I think I'm just going to leave it as is. On the draw, I think we're fine here. I forgot we're not running our Tithe Bearer at all. Probably why I haven't seen that crazy guy. Yep, I like this. Oh yeah, if we can draw a land, get out Lazarus Upreaver, and then get Davriel down early on. Oh, so good. It's so good. If they hold up 3 mana, I'm probably going to play Martyr for the Cause into it instead of running out of Davriel. But if they just drop like a Crawl Stinger, we're going to be in good shape here. We're going to get some nice value out of this Davriel, for sure. Even if they remove one of these things. We get the Chump Block and then drop a Martyr for Cause and leave up a Divine Arrow. Davriel's so good in these situations. They have double removal, it's going to be unfortunate, but then they use 2 cards to kill. Oh, okay. Well, they got some gas there, but I'm not too worried about it.
My dreams dissipate like smoke.
This is an interesting They could proliferate onto this, but I think it's worth doing this. Go to 2-drop for a 3-drop. We have an attacker next turn. We're gonna be able to snipe a couple things out of their hands, so it's unlikely that they're gonna have more proliferate cards to even play. I'm gonna do this just to see what we draw. Okay, that's good, but I'm gonna martyr for the cause since it can swing and do a little more damage. This messes up our aid to Fallen a little bit, but we can always get back to Avariel if we kill this before Ashiok goes away, which I don't think is happening. Okay, that's total. Ah, I see what they did there. Okay, so now let's see what they do. They're not gonna block. I want to leave up Divine Arrow, so how do we do this? I think we drop a tile. Do this. Make them discard one more card. We just have to kill Ashiok is basically the thing we have to do. I'm going to leave up Divine Arrow so we can protect our tile. But maybe we should have dropped Law Rune Enforcer. Then we can tap down any blockers for Ashiok. If they don't have a blue here, they can't play it. Okay, so we have enough removal to get past these things, I think. Once they drop Ashiok again, we get to kill their Rescuer Sphinx. You know what? I think I just can Wanderer Strike away the Wall of Ruins. I think I'd rather drop the Enforcer. Just make something with Tayo. They can... Actually, as long as Tayo's alive, Ashiok can't target us. So let's just leave. I don't think we need the 0-3 on this board here. They're going to attack. They can play Ashiok, attack with the Sky Strix, but then they can't activate Ashiok. Oh, Narset looks nice. Let's see what they find. Okay, that's really not that bad against us. Okay, so now I think we Wanderer Strike. Wall of Ruins. We get to proliferate onto our Tayo, which we still want to stay alive. And then I think we actually do this, and then we can tap down their Sky Theater Strix and keep our Tayo alive. We can't draw more than one card each turn. We just gotta remember that. There we go. Now they can't protect their Narset. We can kill their Sky Theater with Kaya to keep our Tayo alive, which helps protect us against Ashiok. And now we're in pretty good position. Any big creature we can Kaya away. Ashiok doesn't do anything to us.
I am your greatest fear.
Play this out. We're still gonna get their Ashiok off the board, just in case they find a way to. It only takes away basically 3 damage or 5 damage. It's not that terrible. Okay, so they're just gonna be soaking up damage with these things. The last time they got an Iron Bully, it really isn't that great. That's really nice, actually. Let's kill their Planewalkers. We'll leave up Dreadmawkin's activation, and I think we're in really good shape here. They could drop an Iron Bully, but that doesn't really do much against us. We could just sack a couple of things to our Dreadmawkin, and that makes our Rising Populace. this is gonna be. And now we just go for killing them, basically. Let's see what we draw. Okay, Conjured's good. I think we just swing with everything here. They're taking 11 if they don't block. Okay, then here we just get to proliferate onto everything. I think I want to kill this. They can't play Time Wipe with the mana they have out. So I think we're just going to drop this for 5. Yeah, okay. Woo! That was a spicy draft. What a fun deck. A lot of removal. Time Wipe didn't got used, what, once to little effect? I don't remember it too well. But I think the true heroes of this deck was basically Davriel. Got us a lot of card advantage in some games by sniping some cards out of our opponent's hands. Kaya was a bomb. It was just trouble for them. Io pulled its weight in the last round, protecting us from Ashiok, plus creating some nice 0-3 defenders. And then we just had some nice solid creatures to get through. I think that was a super fun draft. Obviously, it worked out pretty well. We got our 2100 gems, our 6 packs, and a great video for YouTube, if I say so myself. And if you think so too, like, subscribe, follow FloridaMun at Twitch, comment, like the video would be great. If you dislike it, so be it, whatever. I don't care. Come at me, bro. And yeah, thanks for watching. FloridaMun out. I'll catch you all next time.